Good afternoon, sir. You're going to use the microphone, but I see there is sun there. We may have to change that witness stand. You people could extend this side.
We could push, my lord, we could push our... Let's take it.
Okay, you're going to speak through the microphone. May I please know your names?
My Lord, I am by names of Assistant Superintendent of Police, Harerimana Barnabas.
Hale?
Harerimana, that is H-A-R-E-L-I-M-A-N-A.
How old are you, sir?
My Lord, I am 36 years old.
What's your religion?
My Lord, I am a Christian.
You know the oath? Please go ahead and take oath.
I, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Harerimana Barnabas, do swear in the name of the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give touching the matter before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay. Could you repeat your name for the record?
My name is Assistant Superintendent of Police, Harerimana Barnabas.
How old are you?
I am 36 years old.
Nze Assistant Superintendent wa Police nga nze Harerimana Barnabas nga n'emyaka 36.
And what do you do?
My Lord, I am a forensic biologist.
Where are you attached?
My Lord, I am attached in the Directorate of Forensic Services under the Department of Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Explosive Analysis, that is in short CBRNEA.
CBR?
CBRN, the E is small, hyphen A.
Repeat that, please.
C, capital C, capital B, capital R, capital N, small e, dash, capital A.
What are your qualifications?
My Lord, I hold a Bachelor of Science from the University of Saad Dakhileb, Brida in Algeria.
Could you spell that?
Okay, go slow. Bachelor of what?
My Lord, I hold a Bachelor of Science from University of SAD. SAD is spelled as S-A-A-D. Then Dahleb is D-A-L-E, that's L-A-B. Dahlab.
Could you go over it again? D-A?
Dahlab is D-A-L-A-B. Then Breda. That one is in Breda, Algeria.
Spell breeder.
Breda is B-L-I-D-A. That was in 2014, my Lord.
Yes?
My Lord, I hold a certificate of training in human identification workflow.
Human identification what?
Human identification workflow, that is HID.
Yes?
That was Thermo Fisher Scientific.
Okay.
What does Thermo Fisher mean? What is Thermo Fisher?
Thermo Fisher is a reading company in science, the world reading company in science.
Okay.
Together with Africa Biosystems.
Okay, which year?
That was 2020. I also hold a certificate of training in precision ID, next generation sequencing, that is NGS system for human identification. My road, that was by Thermo Fisher Scientific and Africa Biosystems.
In which year?
That was 2020. My road, I also have a certificate of training that is Hamilton Operators Training by Hamilton.
Yes?
That was in 2020. My road, I have a certificate of training in sample manager. That is by Thermo Fisher Scientific. That was in 2024. My road, also I have a certificate of training in data visualization. My lord, I have a certificate of training.
In which year?
That was
Data visualization, which year?
2021. My lord, I have a certificate of training in ISO 17025. That is the laboratory management systems. That was by PECB, that is professional certification, that is professional evaluation and certification board.
Okay.
As a read assessor.
In which year?
That was 2024.
Okay. So, For how long have you been working as a forensic biologist?
My Lord, I have worked as a forensic biologist for 6 years. This is my 7th year.
Nkoze mu department eno ey'okwekebejja okumala emyaka 6, guno gwe mwaka gwange ogw'omusanvu.
What are your roles as a forensic biologist?
My Lord, my roles as a forensic biologist, one is to examine and process biological exhibits. The other role, my Lord, is to analyze and interpret the results from the examined biological exhibits.
Analyze and interpret.
The results from the findings from the examined biological exhibits.
Yes.
My other role, after examination and analysis, I make reports of my findings. Then finally testify my findings in the courts of law.
Okay. So how do you usually receive these exhibits?
My Lord,
The ones that you examine and analyze.
my Lord, the exhibits from different stations of Uganda submitted through the forensic gateway.
Which stations are you talking about?
In this case, that
Different
was
stations.
police stations, my Lord. They reach the gateway of the Directorate of Forensic Services with their police form 17A, which indicates the different analysis required for the exhibit.
Yes.
When they reach the gateway, my Lord,
What do you mean by gateway?
we have the gateway is the reception of the Directorate, my Lord.
Please interpret that.
Mu mirimu gyange egimu ku mirimu gyenkola mwe muli okwekebejja n'okugoberera emitendera egy'okwekebejja ebizibiti ebiba bireeteddwa era n'okunnyonnyola ebiba bivudde mu kwekebejja ebizibiti ebyo era oluvannyuma lw'okwekebejja n'okwetegereza maliriza n'enkola alipoota ku bye mba nzudde era n'omulimu ogwala nkola ogw'okugendanga mu kkooti okuwa obujulizi. Ebizibiti bireetebwa okuva mu station za poliisi okuva mu ggwanga lyonna erya Uganda ng'era bisindikibwa ne bijja nga babiweerezaako poliisi fomu eyitibwa 17A eraga ebeerako bye beetaaga okuba nga byekebejjezebwa era bireetebwa awo ewatuukira ebiba birina okwekebejjezebwa.
Yes. When the exhibits reach the gateway.
My Lord, when the exhibits reach the gateway, depending on the requests on the exhibits to be analyzed, they are allocated a specific laboratory number.
era ebizibiti ebyo biba bituuse awo ebirina okutuukira okusinziira ku kusaba okuba kuteereddwako okulina okwekebejjezebwa biweebwa namba y'ekkeberezebwa we bakeberera.
Who allocates this number?
My lord, the in charge of the gateway allocates the lab number to the exhibit.
Era oyo abeera awo ebituukira yabiteekako namba ku bizibiti ebyo.
Yes.
After verification and allocation of the lab number, my lord, the exhibits are dispatched to the relevant laboratory
era oluvannyuma lw'okwekebejjezebwa n'okutegeera kiki ebyasabye biteekebwako akalambe akaawe balina okubyekebejja era ne bisindikibwa gye birina okwekebejjezebwa.
And they are dispatched to the relevant laboratory for temporary storage prior to their examination.
Bisindikibwa mu makeberero gye birina okukeberebwa ne biterekebwawo nga birinda okwekebejjezebwa.
The head of the laboratory allocates the case to the analyst, who then proceeds with the examination of the exhibits.
Era akulira ekkeberero eryo alikwasa agenda okwekebejja oyo yennyini gwe baba bakwasizza n'agenda mu maaso neyekebejja ekizibiti ekyo.
Okay, so how then did you receive these exhibits?
My lord, the head of the laboratory allocated to me this case.
Who is the head?
The head of the laboratory by that time was Superintendent of Police Kisitu Jaffa.
Kisitu who?
Kisitu Jaffa.
Yes.
He allocated me the case. In this case, it was DFS. DFS/DNA/164/2026.
Yes, after allocating.
After allocation, I worked with the technician, who is AIP Busiku Shadrach, whose role was to go and pick the exhibit from their temporary storage to the sampling room.
Mu nsonga eno akulira ekkeberero yeyankwasa omulimu guno era nga mu budde obwo yali superintendent wa poliisi Kisitu, ng'era yampa ku luno baali bagirambye DFS kasaze DNA kasaze 164 kasaze 226, era oluvannyuma lw'okunkwasa nakola n'omukugu ow'eddaala ya AIP Busiku Shadrach eyagenda n'abijjayo webali ebizibiti n'abijjayo webyali biterekeddwa akabanga akatono n'abireeta mu kasenge ak'okwekebejjezebwamu.
Yes, you received them.
When I received the exhibits, I confirmed the exhibits from the PF17A. After confirmation, I proceeded with the sampling of.
How did you confirm these exhibits?
I confirmed the exhibits by opening them and verifying them on the police form 17A.
Yes. Nafuna ebizibiti bino nagenda mu maaso okubikula era n'okukakasa nga bwenkebera ku foomu ya poliisi kwe byali bireeteddwa eriko namba 17A okukakasa nti ebiri kuno era bye bimpeereddwa.
Yes.
I proceeded with the sampling of the exhibits and each exhibit was handled differently.
Nagenda mu maaso okulonderwamu ebizibiti bino era nga buli kizibiti kyakolwako nga kyo kimu ku kimu.
During the sampling of the exhibit, my lord, the exhibits were given specimen IDs. The specimen IDs started with 164 Y26 then S001 continuous.
The specimen IDs started with what?
Started with 164 Y26 S001 in sequence.
Okay. Then
after sampling of the exhibits, the sampled exhibits were repacked and the specimen obtained from the exhibits proceeded to the next steps of DNA analysis. Which included DNA extraction, quantification, detection, and finally analysis of the results.
did you analyze the results?
Yes, my lord, I analyzed the results.
After analyzing the results, what did you do?
Let's have interpretation.
Nagenda mu maaso n'okuggyako obutundu kwebyo byali bireeteddwa era nga mu kwawulamu ebyali bigenda okukeberebwa buli kye twajjamu twakiteekako akalambe nga twatandika n'akalambe aka 164 Y 26 sa 00M era oluvannyuma lw'okuggyako obutundu ku birina okukeberebwa twaddamu ebyasigala ebitooleddwako ne tubiddamu ne tubipakira ne tubibikka era obutundu twali tutoddeko ne tubusindika okugenda mu maaso ku ddaala ery'okukeberebwa.
Yes, what did you do after analyzing the results?
My lord, after the analysis of the results, I interpreted the results then made conclusions on my findings. Then I generated a report of the findings.
If this report is shown to you, would you be in position to identify it?
Yes, my lord.
How?
My lord, this report is signed by me as the analyst on all the pages. It is co-signed by the reviewer who reviews all the processes which I handled in examining the exhibits.
Who is the reviewer?
The reviewer was Wazodi Amos, who is a senior analyst in this case.
He's called who?
Wazodi Amos. Amos, S-I, at the end.
Yes.
Who reviewed, he signed on that report. Then also our names are on one of the pages within the report. My lord, also the report has a cover letter of the Directorate of Forensic Services.
Is it signed?
Signed by the acting AIGP Forensic Services, who is Andrew K. Mubiru.
Agenda maaso okufuna nagabutonde ne tuziteeka mu bipimo ne tuzeekebejja era oluvannyuma bwe byavaamu ne ngenda mu maaso n'okubinnyonnyola era ne nkola alipoota ey'ebyo byali bizuuliddwa. Ku alipoota eyo nsobola okugimanya kuba nateekako omukono ku buli muko era n'omwekebeza omukulu bwe nakola naye Wazadi Amos naye yateekako omukono era nga alipoota eyo eriko ebbaluwa eyateekebwako omukono omwami Andrew.
Anything else to help you identify this report?
The report, my lord, also has the seal of the Directorate of Forensic Services.
Era kuliko ne report eyo eriko n'envumbo ya Directorate of Forensic.
The forwarding letter was addressed to the OCID of the submitting station, which was Gaba Police Station.
Era ebbaluwa yali yejuwereza yali esindikibwa ewa OCCID owa station ye Gaba.
My lord, that's
You
how I
talked-
can identify my report.
Okay. Then you talked about the police form 17 as
Yes.
if these police forms you reviewed prior to carrying out the analysis, if they are shown to you, would you be in position to identify them?
My lord, I can identify the police form 17A, which I worked with, because it bears the stamp of Forensic Gateway, and also the date. That stamp has the date when the exhibits reached the Forensic Gateway.
Police form 17A bw'eba endagiddwa eyo gye nagoberera nsobola okugitegeera nti yeeno kubanga eriko stamp awo ebizibiti we bituukira n'ennaku z'omwezi diro ya funibwa.
What else?
My lord, the same form has the laboratory number. In this case, DFS, DNA 164/2026.
Repeat that, please.
My lord, the PF17A also has the lab number, which in this case is DFS/DNA/164/2026. 2026.
Era police form yemu eyo 17A eriko namba ya labu eyalambibwako ng'eri DFS kasaze DNA kasaze 1064 kasaze 226.
That form was received on 7th of April 2026.
Era form eyo yaletebwa nga nnaku z'omwezi 7 ogw'okuna omwaka 2026.
The same form, my lord, has an attachment of the letter from the OCID of Kabaragala dated 10th of April 2026 requesting to examine a specific number of exhibits.
Era form yemu kuliko emabega waayo kuliko ebbaluwa eyava ewa OC wa Kabalagala ng'ewandiikibwa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 10 omwezi ogw'okuna omwaka 2026 ng'esaba okwekebejja ebizibiti ebiwerako.
To whom was this letter addressed?
My lord, the letter was addressed to the Director of Forensic Services.
Era ebbaluwa eno baali bawandiikidde director w'ekifo we bakeberera ebizibiti.
Does it bear anything to show it was
Stamp of Forensic Gateway dated 10th of April 2026.
Era ebbaluwa eyo eriko stampu yaawo awatuukibwa ebireeteddwa okwekebejja ng'era stampu eyo kuliko ennaku z'omwezi nga 10 omwezi ogw'okuna omwaka 2026.
And the lab number, in this case DFS/DNA/164/2026.
N'akalambe k'ennamba gye bateekako ey'ekkeberero eri DFS kasale DNA kasale 1064 kasale 226.
have a look at this document and identify the contents of this document to the court.
The contents?
Identify the document to the court. I beg your pardon, my lord.
My lord, this is my DNA report. How I can confirm that this is my DNA report? It has my signature as the analyst forensic biology.
Eno ya reporter eyokwekebejja endagabutonde ng'era kwenjitegeerera nti kuliko omukono gwange nga nze yeekebejja eyakola okwekebejja okwo.
It has my names as the analyst on page 22 of 28. That is the name Harerimana Barnabas.
Era kuliko erinnya lyange ku mukono gwa 22.
Signed and dated on 13th of April 2026.
Era nga yateekebwako omukono ng'ennaku z'omwezi 13 omwezi ogw'okuna omwaka 2026.
The same report, my lord, has a covering letter from the Directorate of Forensic Services addressed to the OCID Gaba Police Station.
Era nga lipooti yemu eriko ebbaluwa eyawandiikibwa akulira ekifo kino ekyo mwe beekebejjeza ebizibiti bino
The
nga
same-
bagiwandiikira osi w'eggaba.
My lord, the same report has the seal of the directorate
Era lipooti y'emu eriko envumbo yewebeekebejjeza wano
and the appended signature of the director, that is acting AIGP Forensic Services, Andrew K. Mubiru.
era nga kuliko omukono gw'oyo eyakolanga akulira ekifo kino Andrew K. Mubiru.
My lord, the same report has an attachment of police form 17A,
Lipooti y'emu era kukwasiddwako foomu ya poliisi e17A
which has a stamp of the Directorate of Forensic Services received.
era nga yo eriko stampu ekakasa nti yafunibwa
That is Forensic Gateway Naguru,
awo ewatuukira ebizibiti ekifo awo ekyennaggulu
dated on 7th April 2026.
nga yafunibwa nga ennaku z'omwezi 7 ogwokuna 2026.
My lord, the same section of lab number has a lab number which is DFS DNA 164 of 2026 on the same PF17A.
era foomu eya poliisi 17A eriko obulambe bwe bumu obw'ekkeberero DFS kasaze DNA kasaze 164 kasaze 2026.
The way you described the police forms, the police form, it's as though it's only one police form. How many police forms are there?
My lord,
One.
the police
Several
form,
attachments.
the police form is one with several pages.
Yes.
It has very many, several pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, describing all the exhibits submitted.
Era foomu ya poliisi eno eriko emiko 9 eginnyonnyola ebizibiti ebyenjawulo ebyaleetebwa.
The same report has an attachment of the letter. The letter from the Divisional CID Kabaragara, addressed to the Director Forensic Services, requesting to analyze a specific number of exhibits.
Is it dated?
My lord, this letter is dated 10th April 2026 by the stamp of the Forensic Gateway, Naguru.
Era nga kuliko ebbaluwa eyava wa CID w'e Kabalagala nga yagiwandiikira atwala ekkeberero nga amusaba okuba nga beekebejja ebizibiti ebiwerako ng'era eriko ennaku z'omwezi nga 4 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 lwe yatuuka ku kkeberero eNaggulu webituukira
10th, not 4th.
nga 4 ogwokuna 2026
10th.
nga 10 ogwokuna.
So, officer, are you saying that the letter came after the exhibits?
Yes, my lord. My lord, that's how I can identify this report.
My Lord, I pray to tender the DNA report and its annexures as a prosecution exhibit.
Objection.
Okay, the DNA analysis report, which is dated 13th April 2026 and authored by the witness, has been admitted as a prosecution exhibit and it is marked PEX16.
Na alipoota y'okwekebejja yandaga butonde yakolebwa omujulizi ono ekkiriziddwa ng'ekizibiti yakolebwa nga ennaku z'omwezi 13 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 ekkiriziddwa ng'ekizibiti ky'oludda oluwaabi n'ekirambibwa ekyo16.
Miss Anne, you want to proceed with the report and that the exhibits at this time, I think it is not very proper. This person has technical evidence. We need to come when we are fresh and listen to his evidence.
Much obliged. My Lord, just for clarity and guidance, I wanted to know whether the annexures of the PF17
together with the annexures.
Together as one.
The whole report.
Okay, most obliged.
So I propose that we have the this witness tomorrow as early as 9 so that he gives us his technical evidence. Okay, we are going to resume with this case tomorrow, the 22nd of April at 9 to proceed with the evidence of this witness, and the accused person is further remanded till tomorrow at 9. Prisons, let's try to come early so that we begin at the dot of 9.
Musango guno gujja kudda mu guulirwa enkya nga 22 mwezi ogwokuna omwaka guno ku ssaawa 3 ez'okumakya. N'awamuwabirwa asindikidde kuddeko alimanda okutuusa ku olwo enkya tugende mu maaso n'obujulizi bw'omujulizi ono owaleero akomekereza olwaleero.
kisaza kimukuziikira